Hi there, my name's Melissa, and I am going to show you my systematic lit review on nature play in the early years. So the presentation is titled Nature Play in the Early Years, a Systematic Literature Review. My research question, which was based on how I conducted this systematic lit review, was what are the commonalities within the research on nature play with young children? Looking at the literature that I read, some of the rationales for their research were the governmental mandates, such as the Australian 24-hour movement guidelines, physical activity being important. Research needs to focus on the early years. Risk-taking views need to be addressed and evaluated. Sustainability development in nature play. And then over a view of the overall change when participating in nature play. And then lastly, parents and teachers' views on nature play itself. The methodology for the research. So I started by using the phrases nature play and early childhood education, or preschool or kindergarten or daycare or elementary. And I use these 7 databases. Also, in my original searches, I made sure that they were peer reviewed and the publications were from 2012 to 2022. My results from the 7 different databases are here. So you can see that I found articles in 4 of the 7 that I looked in. There were a total articles gathered were 30, and then I removed 10 because they were duplicates. So whenever duplicates were removed, my total number became 20 articles. I then looked at the methodology and the participants within the articles that were left. So within those 20, they needed to be empirical research. So that means either qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. And the participants had to be early year age. So that means birth to 8 years of age. Now, the research did not have to necessarily be directed on early childhood children. It could also be the parents or teachers of early childhood, but the children involved, or the children that were looked at, needed to be early years. So from the 20 articles, I then eliminated those where the methodology or the participants did not meet the criteria. So these were the ones that were eliminated. So 3 of them were eliminated based on the methodology not being empirical. 3 were eliminated based on the participants not being the correct age. And then 1 was eliminated based on both the methodology and the participant not meeting the criteria. Of the articles that were included, 6 of them were quantitative, 2 were qualitative, and 5 were mixed methods. So after all of that, the total remaining for the review were 13 articles. Looking at the Prisma, you can see where I have the identification section, which were the databases, the 30 that we talked about, and then the 10 that were removed for duplicates. Then during the screening process, there were the 20 that were screened, and they were screened for the methodology and the participants, and then included in the review were 13. These are the 13 articles that I used in the systematic literature review. You can see the methodologies are listed, the participants, as well as the location of the research. When I read all of these articles, these were some of the themes that I found: physical activity, sustainability, social and emotional skills, risky play, and then some other things that popped up were the use of accelerometers and the mention of the Australian 24-hour movement guidelines. So here you can see the themes and the studies that had those themes present in their research. And as mentioned before, I showed the locations. Here's kind of a map where you can see where the research takes place. So the majority were in Australia with 5, and then we had Minnesota with 3. Some of the articles didn't say exactly where in the United States. So if you look at the ones that were in the United States, there were 6 of them, 7, I'm sorry, there were 7 of them, where the one had North Carolina and Denmark as part of their research, and then the one in Canada. And with the 5 in Australia, I think that one of the reasons why is because of the Australians' 24-hour movement guidelines. And then I was wondering, well, why Minnesota? And one of the articles stated that it was a unique location for nature play. And so they have a concentration of that in Minnesota. Some of the limitations for the research is that I was the sole novice researcher for the systematic literature review. This was the first time I'd ever done one. There were only 7 databases searched, and then no gray literature was used. So I didn't look at dissertations or other articles and books. Some recommendations based on the lit review, the systematic lit review, is that we need more qualitative research on nature play in the early years. There needs to be more equitable distribution of research locations. And then we need to explore other benefits of nature play. And these are my references. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.